Hello my darlings, welcome back to Blondiewood. Today, what's today? Vintage Vamp Friday. Yes, I'm totally aware that my hairpiece does not fully match my natural color. I'm gonna get it colored at some point, but we are in a pandemic, so social distancing as much as I can. So bear with me. I'm also gonna clip in some bangs for this look, so just ignore what's going on up here because it will blend better when we're done. Today, what are we doing today? So today I wanted to do a look inspired by Britt Ekland. If you don't know who she is, she was a Bond girl. She was in James Bond, Man with the Golden Gun. She was also in a film called The Wicker Man, not the remake with Nicolas Cage, but the original one. If you're a horror fan, if you love horror movies, definitely check that one out. If you're young, maybe ask your parents first. It's a lot. So today, I figured I would do a Britt Ekland inspired look, but I also wanted to team it up with, there's a trend going around right now, and it's called the FOXY Eye trend, and it's nothing new, you guys. I'm sorry to break this to you, it's not a new trend. The Hadids did not invent it. This is a look that's been around forever. If you look up anyone from the 60s, you're gonna see the FOXY Eye trend. So I figured I would kind of team the two together so that I can show you how you can get that look. Basically, the FOXY Eye is when you do your liner in a way that elongates your eye so that it really lifts it up. And it gives you like a really exaggerated cat eye, which is amazing and you'll love it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Join me for the ride. I feel like my hair looks ridiculous. Like I really should have waited to do this look before. Like I should have waited until I colored the hairpiece, but I'm impatient, you guys. I had to do it. I just had to get this look out of my system. So, foundation. Which one will I use today? Maybe we'll use Uma Beauty. We haven't used that for a second, so maybe we will use Uma Beauty. All right. So, as always, gonna come in with, where are you hiding? My Sigma Flat Kabuki. Buff the foundation into the skin. I feel like I'm in between shades at the moment, and I could probably mix a couple of shades together, but it's hot and I'm lazy. Let's be honest, let's be real. Okay, starting with my MAC Cosmetics Groundwork paint pot. Prolong Wear, I think it's called now these days. It used to come in a tube, now it's in a pot. I love this product, you guys. So, Britt Ekland, she was once played by Charlize Theron in a movie, and the movie was called The Life and Death of Peter Sellers, and it was about the comedic actor Peter Sellers, and she was married to him. She married him, I think, when she was 21. You can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure she was quite young and he was quite like a considerable amount older than her. They met because I think they were living in the same building, and he invited her for a drink and she didn't really know who he was, and they went and had a drink together. Okay, hold on, first things first, let's do the makeup. So I'm just gonna grab that lighter grey in the Day Eye. This is the Charlotte Tilbury palette. This one I think was called the Instant Eye palette. It's great because you've got your Day Eye, your Desk Eye, your Date Eye, and your Disco Eye, or you can mix them all together, which is what I like to do. So I'm gonna just come in with a flat brush. I'm gonna use the MAC Cosmetics 235. I need to check if that one's still available. I'm not really sure. So I'm just gonna place this over the whole lid. So, okay, so they went out for a drink together. Well, she went to his house for a drink. And then he was like, let's go to the movies. And so she agrees and they go to the movies and the Pink Panther is showing. And I guess it was then she realized who he was, and he was, you know, quite a famous actor at that time. So they got married. I think they had a kid. They might have had a couple of kids. I'm not really sure actually. I need to like deep dive back into their relationship. But so that's Britt Ekland. She was played by Charlize Theron. She's an absolute babe and a great actor. You know, I love a lot of the roles that she played. You know, obviously her Bond role was not very big, but she's a Bond girl. Love that. Okay, coming in with my Haku Hoda brush with that same color, I'm just gonna blend out that line and just soften it a little bit, just diffuse the edge. We want to keep it quite like a rounded shape, if that makes sense. So you don't want to go too far out on the outer corner. Britt Ekland had those kind of doe eyes. It's not as catty in the eyeshadow area, I want to say. So she also dated Rod Stewart for a while, I believe, as well. And she was in The Wicker Man. Now, The Wicker Man I had never seen until recently. Sean and I watched it together. And if you guys have seen Midsommar, that film was totally inspired by The Wicker Man. There are so many similarities in those movies. So if you've seen Midsommar and you haven't seen The Wicker Man, I highly recommend you watch it. It's, I guess, like I want to say, about a cult. And, you know, this detective goes to this island and he goes there to investigate the disappearance of this young girl. And then crazy things start happening. All right, so I'm gonna use that same brush and I'm gonna come in with this lighter shade and just use that to highlight. And again, I feel like that also helps to soften your line up here once you go over it with just a lighter shade. You can also create this look using a lighter sort of grey. This one has like a warmer tone for a grey. You could go a little bit cooler if you wanted to play around with it. So this pencil is the Studio Chromatic eye pencil from MAC. I don't know if they still make them. I should have checked that. I'm sorry if I didn't. Some of this stuff I've had in my kit or I've had in my cupboard for a long time, and they're things that I love. And so sometimes things that you love go away, but hopefully this didn't. I love this because they come in different colors. This one's the NW25 to NC30, and basically it's kind of like having a concealer but in a pencil form. So what it's going to do is it's going to let you create the line that you want to create before you go in with your liquid liner, and that way you'll get the placement a lot easier. And it's also easy to blend into your foundation if you make a mistake as well. So I kind of love it for that. So I'm just gonna come in with this pencil and create the shape I wanna create, if that makes sense. And with the Foxy Eye, basically you want your eyeliner to not go all the way, to the corner of your eye. You want it to start in a little bit further, and what that's going to do is open your eye up a lot more, and it's going to create the illusion that your eyes have lifted. And if you really want to go hard on this look, you could also use face tape. Face tape you stick to your skin, and then it's got these elastics that you pull, and it literally pulls your face so that it lifts. You can now get that done surgically too. I've seen videos of people getting wires placed in under their skin and they pull it right back, which is so wild to me. if you've had that done, please like share. I would love to hear about your experiences. All right, so I'm just creating that shape, as you can see. So then, once you've done that, you can come in with your eyeliner. Today I'm going to use the Maybelline Hyper Easy. This one I think I want to use for this look because it gets a much finer line. I really like the brush tip on this. So I'm gonna come in and hopefully I can do this on camera for you guys without having to look at my mirror, like, because you won't see anything. And I'm just gonna come in you can sort of see where I'm placing that. Obviously too, everyone has a very different eye shape, so you may have a different shape to me and you may have to cheat it a certain way. If your crease comes down lower, you may not want to make your wing too long. You may have to adjust it to suit your eye shape, so you can play around with it. The other thing we're going to do as well is really smudge this out with our eyeshadow as well. So that does make it a little bit easier if you don't get your line perfect. Okay, I kind of took that off because I think naturally I just want to take my eyeliner all the way to the edge because I've been doing it for so long. So I've just kind of cleaned that up a little bit and I'm just gonna come in, hopefully you can see. It doesn't start all the way down here, it starts a little closer in. Because we're going for more of a like really 60s look, you can go a little thicker with your liner. Don't be shy with this look today. I need to learn to be able to talk to you guys while I do my eyeliner. So you're not just listening to the sound of silence. Okay, so hopefully you can see where that line starts and where my concealer pencil's sitting, or my studio pencil. So now I want to come in with a angled brush and just come in with my black eyeshadow. And what you're gonna do is just smudge that line out so it has more of a soft focus. Also, if you don't want to end up with black fallout all under your eye like I have right now, do your eyes first. That way you can take a little makeup wipe, clean it, pop your foundation on. But for the purpose of my video, I figured I would just put a face on and then we can clean that up later. So I'm just going to do my other eye off camera. Okay, now that we have cleaned up under the eyes, we're just going to come in with our Shape Tape from Tarte Cosmetics and just blend that in under the eyes. You really don't need a lot of this, it's like quite strong. So now we're going to come in with a angled brush and this darker grey shadow from the Date Eye section of the palette. Basically what we want to do is we just want to keep the under eye sort of in the center. You don't want to bring it all the way out and you don't want to bring it all the way in, because you want to keep that rounded shape of the rest of the eye. Even though we've got the cat eye happening here, we want the eyeshadow all to sort of stay in a circular motion. And I'm using an angled brush just because I feel like we're going to get a lot more control to place it where we want it, and then we can come back in after that with a softer brush and just blend it out a little. You gotta remember the 60s was all about exaggeration, kind of like now. Oh, I try not to throw shade on makeup artists, but there's a lot of makeup on people's faces running around town. A lot of faces that don't look real anymore. But I love makeup, so, and you know, whatever makes you happy, you do you. Okay, now we're gonna come in with a pencil brush, if I can find it. And we're gonna come back in with that light gray color and just blend this out a little. So as you can see, I'm really avoiding these areas and the inner part of the eye as well. Okay, now to really make it pop, I'm gonna come in with this MAC Cosmetics Chromographic Pencil in pure white. You can use any white eyeliner. I'm pretty sure these still exist. I hope they still exist because they're great. And you just wanna, if you wanna make it pop, you're just gonna come into the waterline. And that may seem super strong to begin with, but once your eyes have sort of blinked a few times and the natural water from your eye kind of softens it, if that makes sense. So it's not gonna be like, whoa. And then just come back in. Oh, please hold. I think that's a helicopter. So many helicopters in my area. Hold for sound. Hold for sound. Please hold. Okay, something must be happening in my area because this has literally been going on for like 5 minutes now. Are you going? Are you leaving? I think they're leaving. Okay. 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 So, once you've done your white pencil, you want to come back in with your pencil brush and just soften out that line again, because you may get a little bit of pencil drop down into the grey, so just want to make sure it's nice and smooth and blended. So you're just going to come back in and blend that guy. When you're doing your mascara, you want to focus the mascara sort of on the inner part, so you don't want to really pull it out on the edge as well, because we're going to come in and put our lashes in a very specific position that we wouldn't normally place them. So you really want to focus your mascara into the center and sort of pull your lashes inwards. You can really use the tip of the brush and sort of stroke each individual lash rather than using it as much this way. Just be careful not to poke yourself in the eye. I like to sort of more hold the brush and then blink over it. And what that's going to do is really place the product on quite thick as well. I'm going to use a different lash today. These ones are the Ardell Demi Wispies, but they're a double up, so they're like kind of more feathered, which I am digging. We're going to try these out. One of the tricks I like to do when I am doing my lashes is I actually like to take the lash and use my mascara along the band of the lash. And it just gives it a little bit more depth and thickness. It also helps if you have a lash band that is clear and you can see it shine when you stick it onto your eye and it becomes really obvious that you're wearing lashes. I also usually trim off a bit of the lash on the end, but for this look, I'm actually not going to trim them because we're actually going to stick them and have them sort of elongate out from where our eye ends anyway. So I don't think we actually need to trim off any excess. I feel a brush hair. Could be a wig hair. They just always seem to find me. Just got glue everywhere. Can't take me anywhere. Where is that brush hair? Where are you? Apologies. All right, so basically you're gonna wanna stick the lash down along the lash line, like you normally would. But you're gonna wanna gradually stick it and curve it up at the end. Keeping it close to the lash line in the center, but then bringing it up so that it follows the liner. So you don't want it to sit directly onto your lash line, and you want to just sort of hold it up and cheat it up with your finger. And you want to come in with your finger under your natural lash and just push it into the lash that you've applied over the top. And that will help to sort of bond them together. And then once you're feeling more confident that the glue is starting to dry, you can come back in with your mascara over the top, like underneath, and just fuse the lashes together so that they are one and not a double lash. Once you're happy with where that's sitting, you can come back in with your eyeliner and just come in underneath and make sure that that line under there is super defined and that you don't have any sort of missing patches. I just did my brows off camera, so we're gonna come in with the iconic London Illuminator. And this one is the original. So I'm just gonna pop a little on the back of my hand because I don't know who started this whole dripping product on your face thing, but it's crazy and it just calm down. So I'm just gonna pat a little on with my finger. Ooh, it is so pigmented. And then I'm gonna come in with my beauty blender and just buff that into my cheek. So I'm gonna come in now with my blush. This one is the Chanel Jersey. I used that in my last video, I know, but I love it. It's my favorite color, and I just think it will go really well with this look. Britt Ekland, I feel like in her publicity stills, she didn't wear that super nude 60s lip. They sometimes put it on her when she was in films, but I feel like a lot of the photos I was looking at, she almost had like a warmer nude on. So this one is Hug Me by MAC. You could also use Cosmo from MAC, that's another great color, but I'm gonna use Hug Me today because it's one of my favorites. This is my Thrive Cosmetics highlighter brush, and I'm going to use it for my powder because it's just a really nice soft brush. It's not super dense. I kind of like it. I don't like my foundation to look cakey or powdery. And this just gives it a nice soft application. If you do feel too powdery when you do your makeup, you could come in with the MAC Cosmetics Fix Plus spray or another setting spray, and that'll just help all the product to sort of softly sit on your skin instead of on top of your skin. And you basically just Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna clip in my bangs to complete the look. Hold tight. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care out there. See you soon.